The union is demanding, asking for a 40% wage increase over 4 years. They're asking for that in part because they say CEOs like yourself, leading the big three, are making those kind of pay increases over the course of the last 4 years. You've seen a 34% pay increase in your salary. You make almost $30 million. Why should your workers not get the same type of pay increases that you're getting leading the company?
Well, if you look at compensation, my compensation, 92% of it is based on performance of the company. I think one of the strong aspects of the way our compensation for our represented employees is designed is not only are we putting a 20% increase on the table, we have profit sharing. So when the company does well, everyone does well. And for the last several years, that's resulted in record profit sharing for our represented employees. And I think you have to look at the whole compensation package, not only 20% increase in gross wage, but also the profit sharing aspect of it, world-class health care, and there's several other features. So we think we have a very competitive offer on the table, and that's why we want to get back there and get this done.
But if you're getting a 34% pay increase over 4 years and you're offering 20% to employees right now, do you think that's fair?
Well, I think when you look at the overall structure and the fact that 92% is based on performance, and you look at what we've been doing of sharing in the profitability when the company does well, I think we've got a very compelling offer on the table, and that's the focus I have right now.
Seeing if I could have help scanning this. Thank you. What was your name?
Ed.
I'm Sam.
Okay.
I actually had someone nominate you from this store and said you're very hardworking.
Well, I try to be.
May I ask how old you are?
I'm 88.
And still working?
Yes, I have to.
Why do you have to keep working?
Retired from General Motors in 99. 2012 I went bankrupt and they took my pension away from me.
Oh my gosh. Do you have a wife?
She passed away 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
She was sick when I lost my pension.
So you've been struggling a bit?
A little bit.
You said that you lost your pension?
Yes, sir, I did. I was in the Army back in 66.
So you're a veteran too?
Yes. The thing that hurt me the most was my wife was really sick. And they, when they took the pension, they also took the health care coverage.
Yeah.
And all but $10,000 of my life insurance.
Oh my gosh.
So I sold the house, sold the property I had, and we made it through. My wife died 7 years ago. Since then, I've been trying to reestablish myself.
And you're working here how many days a week?
I work 5 days a week, 8 hours a day.
And you do that because you have to, or?
Yeah, I don't have enough income
What's your dream?
to live somewhat the life I was hoping for.
Like to share your story and try and, get people to help you retire.
Well, thank you.
Of course. You're amazing. I want to give you $400 here as a tip.
Hi, I'm TJ and this is Life Lessons. This story has gone viral multiple times, and I'm going to talk about it from a different perspective because we already know how dirty the corporations are and how inequitable as it relates to compensation. But at any rate, what I want to focus on is Mr. Bombas's perseverance. I did the math. So it's going to be give or take, plus or minus a couple of years. He's 88. He retired in 1990, so that's 25 years ago. Correction, he retired in 1999, not 90. So that would put him at 63 years old when he retired. He had a 40-year career with GM, so that means he started working at GM when he was 23 years old. After serving in Vietnam, because that generation, when they came back, they were taught to work hard to build a life for themselves and their families. So he is an example that you can do all the right things that people have instructed you and guided you to do. In circumstances beyond your control, you'll end up in that position. So nobody should think too highly of themselves.
For most of his life, Ed Bambas worked toward his American dream. But in 2019, at 82, he found himself doing what most retirees never imagined, going back to work.
You do what you have to do.
Bambas worked for General Motors for 40 years. The automaker's 2009 bankruptcy wiped out his pension. Then his wife got sick and died. With bills mounting, he took a job at a grocery store.
I made it a point to try and be as friendly with people as I could, because that would take my mind off any depression because of my wife's death. I really, to this day, miss her. I still visit her grave every day.
Everything changed this week when a stranger approached Bambas with a simple question.
What's your dream?
To live somewhat the life I was hoping for.
That stranger was influencer Sam Wiedenhofer. He set up a crowdfunding account to help finance Bambas's next retirement.
Do you know how much money has been raised?
No, sir, I do not.
Tomorrow, Bambas will get a check for more than $1 million.
What's the lesson you've learned from the events that have unfolded over the last few days?
Be polite to people.
Small actions with a very big return.
Oh, thank you.
Tom Hanson, CBS News, New York.
Amazing. I want to give you $400 here as a tip.
But one of the things I want to particularly hone in on is he did what he had to do. I saw an article that he doesn't have a TikTok. He doesn't have any of these social media things. So he had no idea what was going on. He was just being a kind person doing his job. You know, when the Sam Wiedenhofer said, you know, I hear you're a hard worker, he said, I try to be. Even at 88, tries to be a good worker. I'm going there. There's some people 30 and under who don't take pride in what they do. I have, just as an example, I've had two Amazon packages. My address is what my address is. Y'all have GPS that tells you when you roll up to the place. On 2 consecutive times, instead of dropping the package off in my house, they've taken it across the street to my neighbors because they're not paying attention and they don't care about doing a good job. They don't care about doing a good job. And you may say, well, what's the point of doing a good job? Because you can, people like execs at GM still bend you over. Okay, but it's not about them, it's about you. What you made out of? What are you made out of? Because here's the thing. If those things would have happened to, I'm going there, some millennials, Zs, and definitely alphas, y'all would have thrown it all away. Y'all would have y'all come on here and woe is me and none of that. And blaming everybody else. And here's the thing. Sometimes other people are to blame. Like the situation with GM filing bankruptcy. Other people are to blame. But Mr. Bombas said, I'm going to focus on something else. I'm going to be nice to people. It's going to take my mind off of the depression I feel for missing my wife. On another video, it was disclosed that he had over $200,000 in debt. He was over $200,000 in debt after his wife's passing for the medical bills, even after he sold the property and everything. But yet and still, goes to work 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, at a grocery store, helping people. He is a boomer. Can you imagine how challenging the technology is? But he's showing up every day, being nice to people, doing his job. My husband and I were just talking about this the other day. No longer do people care about doing a good job, doing it to, with excellence and expectations of the standard. And again, I'm not trying to talk, who cares what everybody else does? Don't you have some intestinal fortitude about yourself when you show up somewhere? Instead of doing it half behind. But here, this man is 88 years old. Seen stuff. He has forgotten more about life than some of us will ever know. And seen things that I'm sure we could not fathom. And some of the veterans, they probably have. But did the right things. So my charge to you all is be an Ed Bombas. Be an Ed Bombas. It's funny. That generation, silent generation. No, they are the boomers, not the silent generation. But that generation and the silent generation, they had so much pride in themselves, they would never beg for nothing. Never. Before they beg, they get out there and go to work like he did. I see a lot of people, probably boomers, when I go to these places. Again, before the grace of God, there I go. Again, I'm going to end it again. Be an Ed Bombas. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Take that with you.